Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about something a little bit more serious. Sorry. Yesterday I posted this on my Instagram. Someone just tried to bloody follow me home. Yeah, so long story short, basically I was almost followed home from work last night. Thank you to everyone who messaged me and reached out. I really appreciate it. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video to kind of like talk about it, get it off my chest, vent, I don't know. So yesterday I had to go into work to prepare some materials because I found out I'm going to be working from home for the next month, until the end of May actually. So I had to go home and prepare all this material and bring it back home with me. When I got on the train it was late, like about 11:30ish, which is ridiculous, I know. And on my way home, I actually passed Shinjuku and I was surprised at how empty it was. So I messaged my friend, I was like, hey, Shinjuku is super empty. And they were curious as to how empty it was. So I sent a video of the carriage I was in. And as you can see, it's got like pockets of people here and there. The guy across from me actually had like a Family Mart shopping bag, and it piqued my interest because I was hungry at that point, of course, and I wanted something to eat. So I decided that on my way home I would stop by Family Mart and get something to eat. From my work station to my home station, it's about 20 minutes, so it's not too long. When I got off, a whole bunch of other people got off as well, and we exited the station. As I exited the station, I heard someone drop their wallet, and then I had a look, and it was the guy that was sitting across from me. So I kind of made it like an exclamation, like, ah, like, because I don't know how to speak Japanese, so I can't be like, hey, like, sorry, like, you dropped your wallet. But yeah, anyways, that was not the point. So yeah, he hears my little like exclamation and he looks and he sees that he's dropped his wallet, so he picks it up and then he keeps going. So then at this point there are two exits for my station. I take one exit and he's coming with me as well, like he's just behind me, and then he kind of walks past me. So outside of my exit there's a 7-Eleven and a Family Mart, and in between there's the main street where I usually go to go home, and that's where a lot of people go to eat, but it's all closed, but a lot of people take that way to go home. So I head into the Family Mart and I basically pick out my dinner. It takes me like a couple of minutes and I head out. As I'm heading out, I notice that there's like a figure like standing outside of the door of the Family Mart, but I don't really take any notice of it. And I don't know if you guys are the same, but what I do is actually always walk in with my headphones in, but I'm actually not listening to music. I can still hear everything that's around me. So as I'm walking down the street, I've noticed that it's empty, but then I start hearing footsteps behind me. So what I do is I flick my hair so I can see like whoever's behind me, and I notice it's the guy who dropped his wallet, who was the guy that was sitting across from me. And I thought it was kind of strange because I was like, oh, like I kind of spent a few minutes in Family Mart. He should have like already finished walking down this street. But then I was like, oh, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe he stopped for a cigarette or something. So then he starts walking quickly and he actually walks past me and heads towards the end of the street. And he hits the end of the street before I do. So it's like a red light. So he's waiting. At that end of the street, it's actually an intersection. So as I get there, I have a look left and right, making sure that there's no cars because it's like really late at night. And I decide to jaywalk and I decide to cut across the street to where I need to turn. And as soon as I start jaywalking, it's really weird because he started jaywalking too and he starts cutting. And as we're crossing the road, he cuts past me and he looks back and he looks at me. And at that moment, I started feeling like even more uncomfortable. So I messaged my friend and I told them like, I think someone is watching me go home or something. At that point, you can kind of like hear my footsteps and his footsteps only because it's super late at night and I'm wearing heeled boots as well. So my footsteps are quite loud. He starts to get to the next intersection and he starts to slow down because it's a red light, but he doesn't stop at the red light. So for me to get home, I actually need to make the next turn. But I didn't really want him to know like which turn I'm making, just to be on the safer side. I don't know, it's weird, I get it. So as I'm walking, you can kind of hear my footsteps and I decide not to slow down for the lights, like to make it as if I'm going to take the next turn. So then he starts speeding up and he takes that turn before I've taken that turn. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit weird because he was slowing down as if he was going to wait at the end of the lights. So because I feel a little bit uncomfortable, I decide to jaywalk again and cross the street. And he can hear my footsteps, so he turns around and he looks at me. And then I feel like, I don't know, it just got like this bad feeling all around me. And yeah, I don't know if I was being ridiculous or not. So then he keeps walking down that street, and I've crossed the street here. And I need to go parallel to where he is, because that street there is where my apartment is. Because by then we're only like 2 or 3 minutes away, which was like way too close for comfort, like for me anyways. So when I cross the street, there's actually some like foliage or like a bush that I can kind of like hide behind, but I can still see him. So I decided to just wait behind there, just in case, because I don't want someone knowing where my apartment is. Like, I just feel super uncomfortable with that. Yeah. So I can hear his footsteps, and they're going like further and further away. So I'm like, okay, it's not too bad. I'll just wait it out, or maybe I'll just walk around the block one more time, just in case. And then all of a sudden, I hear them getting louder. So he's coming back, and then I can see him through the bushes, and he's like looking left and right, as if he's checking like if I've made a turn, if I've turned into one of the apartments or gone down a side street. And I just get this sick feeling. So what happens next is I start to tiptoe across like the foliage as he's coming back around. And like, I'm trying to get my phone out as well, because I want to record it just in case something happens, but I'm so bloody nervous, I can't even do it, which is so ridiculous. And I can see him peering down the street where he thinks I've gone down. And he's like leaning his whole body in, and I'm like, this is just too much. Like, if he crosses the street now, he's going to see me like standing behind these goddamn bushes. But luckily he like turns around and he heads back towards the station. I forgot to mention that I end up getting my phone out, and here you can see like the path I took and the bushes I hid behind. And that's basically it. Like, I start to like walk back down my street, like tiptoeing so that he can't hear my footsteps. And I know like nothing bad happened, like basically nothing happened at all. But I just had this like gut feeling that something was wrong. And the way he was acting when he couldn't see me anymore, like just confirmed, like just didn't sit right with me. And it's ridiculous because this isn't the first time I've been followed home. Like, someone's tried to follow me home, and I can't imagine that it will be the last time, which is even sadder. And I just feel so shitty about the whole thing. And yeah, I don't know why I'm making this video. I just wanted to rant a bit. The thing that concerns me is that when I got on at my workstation, and I had like all my material in a bag, and the bag has like my company name on it. So if he's smart enough, he could look up my company, look up the location, and find out where I work, which I know is like pretty far-fetched, but this is like the things that I think about, and this is why I look goddamn tired, because like I didn't get much sleep last night. And I hate letting people affect me. Like, I don't want this to affect how I feel, but I feel kind of shitty. Yeah. And like, imagine if his station is actually the station, and I see him walking around and he tries to like pull this stunt again. Like, that's bloody ridiculous. Anyways, thank you to the people who reached out to me. I really appreciate it. But yeah.